Hello and welcome back to part 3 of this Let's Play series. We're playing Starsector and we're role-playing as the bloodthirsty pirate, Captain Disarray. So far in this series we've built up quite a sizable fleet and we have killed quite a lot of mercantile convoys and stolen all their cargo to sell to our pirate buddies. We are playing on Iron Man and this is a particularly risky way to play Starsector, so we are picking our targets fairly carefully. Of course our transponder will be off for almost the entire run and we will be on the lookout for any good targets as we fly around hyperspace. We also have a couple of missions on the go. We are heading into Thule right now to rescue a prisoner, and this time, unlike last run, we will get that prisoner with plenty of time to return him to his rightful place. We'll pop into the local pirate station here first and we will sell off some armaments that we have lying in our hold and pick up some cheap drugs while we're here. We will then set a course for the independent world, who have captured our pirate friend, and head over to break him out. Going to be very careful we don't run into any Brazilian League patrols, but there's none around here, so we'll just see if they have any cheap cargo on their black market. We'll pick up a few more drugs and check out their ships, and actually they have a Pirate Falcon light cruiser in pristine condition here, so I'm going to buy this and set it up as a strike cruiser. So this is going to have high alpha strike potential. We're going to fit it out with double Typhoon Reaper launchers, antimatter blasters for powerful alpha strike, and then as we're going to be getting in close, we're going to go with a heavy machine gun for shields and an assault chain gun to chew through armor and hull. Now we have a lot of firepower that can finish off damaged ships, so we'll go with double sabot racks to burst down enemy shields. We'll just fit it out with some insulated engines and a dedicated targeting core to give it a bit of extra range. Now what I like about this Pirate Falcon is it's quite micro intensive, so I'm going to be firing missiles, antimatter blasters and torpedoes manually, and only the machine guns and chain guns will be on auto fire. This Pirate Falcon also seems to come with augmented drive field and an unstable injector pre-fitted, so it should be pretty fast. Weapon groups are pretty good. I'm just going to switch around the sabots and the reapers because I want to fire the sabots first, and we will put him in position and take it as our flagship. We're flying this into battle ourselves. It will be our primary weapon against any kind of larger fleets or bigger threats. It won't be as fast as our safety override Sunder, but it will have a bit more of a punch and it will be able to take a lot more punishment. We'll just pick up some additional crew and we will go ahead and break out this prisoner. So it's going to take almost all our marines to do so, so we'll just steal a few extra drugs while we're on the planet, and then we will take him home. I'll have a quick look at this Brazilian League world while we're here, see if we can steal anything. It looks like we're being pursued, so we will run away from them as fast as we can. Oh, don't hit rocks. Now in order to get into this Brazilian League station we may need to cause a bit of a distraction, so we will come over here and knock out this nav boy, and that will draw their patrols out and also reduce their speed. They won't be able to benefit from the nav boy. We'll move away from it quickly and see if we can loop around and sneak into the station. So this guy doesn't seem to want to go and investigate that, and there is a larger detachment we have to be careful of. They've just pinged but they didn't find us, so we will pop in here while they're away. Drop off some of this stuff we don't need. Buy a little bit extra fuel. And I'm actually going to sell some heavy machinery because we want to try and make sure we have as much space in our cargo hold as possible so we can fill it with other people's stuff. Get a few extra marines. Check out their ships. They do have another Sunder. It's in good condition. But I think we'll leave that for now. We will, however, pick up an extra pirate mule so we can carry even more cargo. We'll fit that out, but I think I'll cut that out for pacing reasons. And let's see if we can do a raid. Now, their ground defense strength here is extremely high, so I think doing a raid here will probably just be a waste of marines. I did see, however, that this station does have a pristine nano forge. So if I can come back at a slightly later date, knock out their Star Fortress and maybe a couple of their ground defenses, I may be able to send in my marines to steal that nano forge. So that's kind of a long-term plan. We will bug out for now and head off to drop off our prisoner. So we are flying back to the Canny base in Kamari Kandan system. And looks like there's just a few of our pirate buddies raiding around here. We will return the prisoner. We will pick up a few more cheap drugs. And I think we will head straight back out to continue hunting. We'll pop into Izara quickly. There's another pirate base here. And I do need some more fuel. So we will also sell off these drugs, most of them, while we're here. Get a pretty good price in Captain Starworks. Get some fuel, and we'll head out again. We are checking some of the jobs in these systems, but if they don't have any jobs I want to take, I'm just not going to show that. Now, a special task group ahead of us, something we really don't want to tangle with, because they would pretty much be guaranteed to destroy most of my fleet before I could run away. So we will sneak past them and hope they don't catch us while we pop into their nearby station. I'm also going to tag this smuggler because he's carrying drugs and organs. Might be worth going after him. So we want to try and get into Lakil habitat here without getting caught by the pickets. This particular picket wouldn't be able to do much against us, but this special task group definitely could, so we will try and do this very quickly. We've been fighting around this station too recently and we can't trade here at all. But we will launch a quick raid. And again, they've got quite high defences here, so we probably won't get much. And we might lose some marines. But, oh well, we've got 300 odd drugs, so that's not a bad haul. And we can sell them back to our pirate friends. And so if we can just keep out of the sensor range of these patrols, we will be able to safely leave the system. And so we will make our way back to Epiphany. I think they still have the highest prices for recreational drugs, so we'll just pop in there and we can repair and offload our cargo. So we're going to make over 300,000 for that load. We're nearing the 3 million credit mark now, which is roughly when I think it's a good time to start looking for colonies. This underworld boss wants to pay us to take a spaceport offline, but as it's a friendly pirate spaceport, I think we will not accept that mission. And instead we will head down to Majek and pop into the Tritachyon well there. See if we can find some more good ships, good weapons, maybe some good jobs. Now there's an independent station here that we have found good ships in the past. It's almost like because they're next to a Tritachyon world, Maybe they get some of the overflow from the Tritac shipyards. And we have seen a possibility for a first target for this session. There's a mercantile convoy, independent. So we'll just pop in here, pick up some fuel, and we'll have a look at their ships. Ah, there we go, 2 Tempests. One has a D-mod, but I think it's just a damaged sensor array. So we'll take these on, and we will auto-fit them out. We're going to name one auto-fit as a strike frigate, and that's going to be with phase lances and pulse lasers. And this second type we will name attack frigate, and they're going to have ion weapons mostly. Well, this guy's going to have an ion beam and an ion pulsar. There's a little bit of an overload on iron, but they're quite good for disabled systems. They slow ships down. Put these 2 into our wolf pack, and we will just do a quick raid, see if we can get some additional fuel and maybe some armaments. Okay, that's pretty profitable. We will leave and we will go after this mercantile convoy. Looks like they are carrying heavy armaments and supplies, so it should be lucrative. They're running, so we will pursue. And I think I will pilot a Tempest and just take the wolf back for this. So we'll cut them off, coming from 3 directions at once. This should be quite an easy battle, so we're going to play it at double speed. We're going to send these guys to kill these guys who are trying to retreat. I'm going to go in after this Colossus myself. And then we have a Buffalo combat freighter. Fires a bunch of rockets at me, but I can take them on the shield. And I think that's pretty much it. Just a couple of final explosions. And a Tarsus and a Cerberus are the last to die. And we got not a bad haul, bunch of heavy armaments. And we do get some reward from our pirate buddies for destroying that convoy. So now we will head off to the Tritac world. We're going to be careful we don't get embroiled in this battle that's going on. Looks like this patrol is not too bothered we don't have our transponder on. I think we'll go in. It looks like it's the Persean League who are attacking this station. Probably not the best idea, being as Tritac have the most advanced stations. We will pick up an Omen and we'll outfit that. I think we're going to set up an auto fit for the Omens as well. So we're going to name this PD frigate. And then save that, because essentially we always want our omens to be more or less the same, and it will save time. Okay, we have a contact here. Let's see if he has any missions for us. So he's selling some high-tech military ships at a massive markup. I would love to buy an Aurora, but at this price I can't really justify it, so I will order a Medusa, which is a high-tech destroyer, and we will pick that up when it's ready. He also wants us to deliver some recreational drugs, which I'm happy to do. And then we will also send in a raid with our marines, and we will go after some more recreational drugs because we already have some. And that is a pretty good haul. Almost 600. So now we have plenty of drugs and plenty of weapons to sell. And we will stay well clear of this strike fleet. Don't want to get involved in this battle. And we will transverse jump out. So we have a bounty we have to complete within 64 days. We have a Tempest to pick up, and soon we will have a Medusa to pick up from Magic. We also have a dead drop to complete, and we need to deliver those drugs within just under 60 days. So I think we will head out west and complete this dead drop, and then we'll go after the bounty and we'll drop off those drugs on our way back. We have the fuel to get there and back, I believe. But we've just seen something here. This looks like a smuggler. No, it's not. It's a mercenary patrol. Ah, but here we have a Tritac corporate trader with an Atlas. So they may be carrying quite a lot of cargo. We're definitely going to go after this guy. Alright, so this is basically an undefended mercantile convoy. Just a bunch of freighters and a couple of frigates. So I think we will take in the Sunders and some of the Tempests. And I'm going to speed this one up again as well because it's not going to be too much of a risk. Freighter 1, Freighter 2, there's a couple of brawlers. I don't really rate brawlers very highly, so I will try and chase this guy down and kill him. Maybe I'll leave him to my Tempests. Kill the freighters instead. And they were going to chase down this phase frigate, and he's not going to have much chance to escape. So, last freighter destroyed. What do they have? Ah, not very much at all. Looks like they were on their way to pick up cargo rather than drop it off. So that was a bit of a waste of time. Okay, let's carry on west. We will pick up some fuel on the way so we can make it to the dead drop. What's this? Ah! A Luddic Church faithful convoy carrying heavy armaments. Again, quite badly protected. Oh, they're trying to run. Well, I guess they're trying to run. Actually got hit by a nebula storm. But we will jump all over them. And I think they had a couple of bigger ships, including a Mora carrier and a couple of enforcers. We will take in our Pirate Falcon, and we will use that for the first time. They ran from us, so this is a pursuit. We will send our Tempest in ahead to cut them off. And get most people just to cover me as we go in with our Pirate Falcon. And hopefully you'll do a good job with it. Definitely want to prioritize this Mora. Carries 3 wings of fighters, and I'd rather not fight them continually. Our own fighters are going in against it. I'll just take out a couple of these buffaloes on our way. The Mora just taking fire from the Omens and Tempest. We can just get around here. Fire our antimatter blasters and follow up with the chain gun. We could fire a Reaper at this point, but I think we might just save that. We have actually had one of our engines knocked out, that's why we're circling very slowly away from the Mora. That's fine, that's the engine coming back online now. And we can close in on this lasher. Miss it completely with our antimatter blasters. But we will be able to kill this lasher just with our auto-fire weapons. Oh, a Reaper comes in, and a couple of rocket salvos. Actually overloads me because I wasn't paying attention to it. I've got to be careful against enforcers if you get in front of them. We'll send our smaller craft up to kill these retreating frigates. And now we will go after this enforcer. Okay, he goes down. We will continue to use our wolf pack to chase down these retreating craft, and we will follow them up. Now, looks like one got away, but there's a Colossus freighter just to our right here, and then there's a mule and another enforcer. Our fighters are coming in. Those are the Thunders with their ion weapons. Hopefully they will disable the major systems of the Enforcer. And Tempest can come in and do some damage. Kill this Colossus. And we'll go after the Mule. As pirates, of course, we're always after the prize ships. Everything else is just escort. All we really want is all that lucrative cargo. Second enforcer goes down, and I think that's the end of the battle. Now, hopefully they actually had some cargo. Oh, they did. Okay, 270 heavy armaments, bunch of supplies, bunch of fuel. Happy with that. That makes up for the previous one. Trader running away from us, but they're too small to really spend time going after. So I'm going to drop back into this system and go to the pirate base, and we're just going to pick up some extra fuel and maybe drop off some cargo if we can get a good price. Looks like there's another battle going on here. Was that an independent fleet attacking this pirate station? I think it was. So we can sell off these drugs for 300,000. Get a bit of extra fuel. And we will actually join this battle just because I don't like it when people attack pirate stations when I'm right there. But there's not much of a enemy fleet, and I think they're already running from us. So we'll just send in the Tempests, a few omens, and we'll just seek and destroy. There's me just completely abandoning formation, and actually they've got past us almost. So we're going to chase down this wolf, which is probably a little bit of an exercise in futility, because with his phase shift it's really quite hard to catch a wolf on your own. We will go after this vigilance instead, although with also back up, it's a little bit hot, so I will back off. We are blocking most of their ships from retreating now, which is good, although that might not last. So I can see they're trying to sneak off. We'll try and chase them down. Those two exploded at exactly the same moment. A bunch of little combat freighters. We will bring in a few Sunders just to add some extra firepower. Not sure we're going to need it, but better safe than sorry. Now there's a Brawler, Kite, Centurion heavy frigate, and this Enforcer. We have to be careful with the Enforcer particularly. So we will come down. I can see a couple of their craft are retreating in the messages in the top left of the screen. The Enforcer's retreated. We're going to chase down these smaller craft. One vigilance dies. The other one retreats. This brawler is trying to get away. The Suns are coming in. And the rest of their fleet's destroyed. They're probably not going to have much cargo. Nope, just a bit of fuel, bit of supplies. But we did protect our pirate buddies. And we still want to head out of this dead drop. But I think we will need some more fuel just to get there and back safely. So we'll pop into Thule on the way there and fill up our tanks. So we're making our way into this Bazayan League station to get fuel. They have quite a few patrols and they may have already seen us. No, I think that was just a mercantile convoy with the sensors. But there are too many patrols around this station for us to go straight in. So we will divert to the other station and see if that one's a bit easier. We may need to knock out their sensor array and cause a distraction, but we'll have a look at this station first. Sembola station. If they have enough fuel, maybe we won't need to go anywhere else. We will try raiding them and see if we can get some fuel that way. They have quite good defences, but we'll pick up a few extra marines from their black market, and then we will launch a raid and just steal the fuel we need. Yeah, that was pretty successful. 600 fuel, that will get us there and back nice and safely. We'll go back and see if we can pop into the station. It looks like we have a detachment who know where we are. They're maintaining contact with us, but we will go dark and escape their sensors. Oh, looks like there's a special task group. Hopefully they're not coming after us. These guys are looking for us. The special task group is travelling. And now to run away from the picket we may need to become visible here. I might just let them catch us actually, because they're not going to be able to fight us. They are pursuing still. So we will intimidate them and hopefully they'll just leave us alone. There should be a mechanic in this where the smaller fleets communicate your position to the larger fleets, otherwise the small fleets are not much of a threat. Okay, are we going to go into this station or just leave it for now? I think we'll leave it for now and we'll head off to the dead drop. We don't have that much time to do these 3 missions, so let's see if we can get them all done in time. So we'll shoot off at full speed, and because we have plenty of supplies and plenty of fuel, we might just use a couple of these nebula storms to give us a speed boost. Oh! Straight through the middle. And I think there's just the one dead drop to do this time. We still have to watch out in case there are any fleets here to ambush us. So far it's pretty quiet. Too quiet. Looks like there's an invasion happening where Sindiri and Dictat are attacking the hegemony on the left hand side there. We'll complete the dead drop and we will transverse jump straight out because we are running rapidly out of time to complete these other 2 missions. So the bounty, we have 28 days. And the recreational drugs, we have only 23 days to drop them off, so we're going to try and do them first. Again, we're going to burn through the nebula storms. So there's a relief fleet heading to Dibi Center in Majek. We'll tag that just in case we have a chance to take it out. Although relief fleets tend to carry things like food, nothing too valuable. So let's carry on and see if we can get these trucks to their position in time. Oh, is this a smuggler? Is this a salvage fleet? It's quite a lot of cargo ships. I think we'll just quickly have a look at that. And I believe it is a salvage fleet. We'll take them on though. Maybe they've got some good stuff. So we're going to take in our Falcon, a couple of Sunders, a few Tempests and a few Carriers. Now, I was thinking the other day that it would be quite a good mechanic for the salvage fleets to be on their way back from the outer systems to the core, to be carrying things like blueprints that they might have picked up. Because if you're a pirate, that would be a nice option to gain blueprints you need without actually having to go off and do exploring. Here we are. Just getting everyone to orbit around us at the moment and keeping a big group while we take on these. There's an enforcer here, a few other mini frigates and some combat freighters. That enforcer's kind of dead in the water. I'm going to take on this little religions myself. No one seems to be taking on this enforcer, so I will just come in and finish off with a Reaper or two. And we'll send our fire ships after these escaping enemies. Just speed this up a little bit. There's a Brawler and a... Is that a Cerberus or a Hound? It was a Shepherd actually. And the Centurion goes down. And there's one more ship trying to run. But I think we'll just claim victory and move on. Now, we will pursue their cargo ships just to see what they've got. But I'm going to send my second in command into this because I think it's a bit of a waste of time. Oh, it does. Okay, so these salvage fleets might be worth taking on because this one had a mod spec. And maybe that means the other ones will have blueprints. Alright, let's... Now this scavenger is going out, so there's no point taking him on. We will drop into the station and see if we can drop off these drugs. A couple of mercantile convoys. One small, one big, but nothing carrying anything too valuable. So we need to drop off these drugs in Fickenheld, Brazilian League World. Let's see what their patrol situation is. I'm going to go dark and come in nice and slowly. There's a couple of patrols at least. And a mercantile convoy and a big patrol. This could be tricky. I'm not too sure how we're going to get in here before we run out of time. And that bounty is also running down very quickly. So I think we're going to go up north and knock out their comm relay. And hopefully that will drag some of their patrols out. And we'll be able to get in. Let's see if we can do it without that, because that will take us a few days to get there and back. Now this mercantile convoy is carrying heavy armaments, and I think we're just going to take this on, because even if we can't drop off these drugs, we'll make a profit doing this. So it'll take us Sunder into battle with a couple of his mates and some Tempests, some Omens, and we'll just chase these guys down. Gemini combat freighters, Colossus freighters, and some mini frigates. Nothing too dangerous, we'll do this nice and fast. And now this may prevent us from getting into Fickenheld completely, because they may be alerted by this battle, but It's not the end of the world if we miss one mission. And when I see a convoy with this many freighters carrying heavy armaments, it is pretty hard to resist going after it. Especially when it's barely defended. The Gemini down. This little shepherd is trying to run away. He's not going to manage it. And now all these Tempests are just guarding the back and mopping up the stragglers. Oh, this Hound is getting behind me. And he's knocked out one of my engines. That's kind of irritating. Okay, the rest of our Tempests can come in now. The kite's trying to damage me. We'll speed the end of the battle up. Take on this freighter. The kite. And some other little combat freighters. And now I think it's just the Venture and a couple of little guys left. These Ventures are real bricks and they can take some pretty strong punishment. But without support, they're not much of a threat. They're slow, cumbersome. So I'll send in a bunch of missiles and try and finish them off nice and quickly. So look at the amount of armour you have to wear down before you can really do the damage. There he goes. Okay, let's see what they were carrying. Another 150 heavy armaments. We've got quite a lot of them now. It's going to be a good profit when we finally sell them. Can we get into this station without getting caught? Is it worth trying? Okay, well, we'll head up to the comm relay and see how much time we've got left. 11 days on the bounty. 5 days to drop off these drugs. I think if we head with that comm relay and come back, we definitely won't have time. So we'll have one more go, try and get into the station directly. There is now a nebula around here, so we may be able to sneak in. If we're very careful, we'll just go around the back. This fast picket is preparing to patrol. That's a mining fleet. Okay, I think we can get in. We did get in. Okay, excellent. Got rid of our recreational drugs. Made our contact happy. Do they have any ships to sell? They have a drover carrier. I'm going to buy that and actually get a dedicated carrier to go with the Heron that we have currently parked in a station somewhere. You see, using mules as makeshift carriers early game is quite cost effective because you need the mules to carry cargo anyway. But the problem is the fighters they carry have higher ordnance point cost if they're in converted hangars. Drovers on the other hand are very efficient fighter carriers because they have a ship system which refits and sends out fighters a lot faster than other carriers. So we will fit this guy out with a squadron of Wasps and a squadron of Dagger torpedo bombers. Insulated engines, of course, and we will add on some missiles. So a couple of Sabos and a couple of harpoons just to add to the fray. Give it some caps and some vents. I think the driver's good to go. Right, can we get away without getting caught now? No one seems to be pursuing us. Okay, let's just quietly mosey off. And then we will transverse jump out. Now we probably only have a few days to get to this bounty. So we will make the effort to get there as fast as possible. Hopefully the bounty will be easy to find. we're going to try and get hit by these nebula storms just to speed us up a bit more. It kind of worked. We need to avoid this hegemony detachment and get into Valhalla safely. Now, where do we think this bounty is likely to be? It's a hegemony bounty, so we'll drop in near the hegemony world and hopefully it'll be there. Well, we'll do a sensor pulse. We're now being pursued by this small picket, but they're not a threat. They will catch us and we will tell them to piss off. Oh, they misses actually. So we're flying over here to see if the bounty's over there. These patrols are not going to be able to catch us, I don't think. We have 1 day left. Oh, there he is. Hey. Let's see if we can just charge straight in. And I'm quite glad we managed to catch up with him. He's now running from us, so we will take charge of a Sunder, bring in 2 more Sunders and some of our wolf pack. I'm also going to bring the Drover just to blood it, and hopefully it will do the business. There's an enforcer here. You have to be wary of enforcers. They can carry quite a lot of weapons, missiles and things. But then, having said that, and bearing in mind what I said earlier about enforcers, this is when I do something quite stupid. And we're going to go in quick and see if we can damage him. Unfortunately, he does manage to overload us here, and then, oh my god, look at these missiles. 1, 2, 3. This one is going to miss and go all the way around. These other 3 are going to hit, and then that one that missed is going to come straight in and blow us up. So that was unfortunate, and really that's my own fault for taking an enforcer on head on with no support. Because the Sunder I think is a stronger destroyer, but it's not tougher. So we will transfer into our backup Sunder and get our revenge as quickly as possible. This time we have 3 Tempests in support, which is a very different proposition, and we should be able to kill this guy off pretty quickly. Little bastard. So the ion beams and tachyon lance is going to do heavy damage to him. And with this many of us fighting, he's screwed. But that was really quite a stupid thing to do. And we will want to pick up a replacement Sunder as soon as we can. We can probably recover it. In fact, I'm pretty sure we will be able to recover it, but it will have a few demods now. So we might have to switch it out for a new one when we find one. Okay, so the rest of the enemy fleet looks like they're still trying to escape when we are pursuing. The second enforcer. He's not having the best day. We will move in and try to make it even worse for him. Although he may be dead by the time we get there. Let's see if we can get the killing blow. Oh, yeah, I think our attacking launch did do the business there. And there's just one more enemy ship trying to escape. I think he's going to make it. So, okay, we can recover our Sunder, but it will have a couple of demods. Structural damage and increased maintenance. Well, not great, but it could be worse. We'll recover it, and we will pick up the bounty. And so we managed to complete all 3 of those missions on time, which is pretty good. Oh, and we have another mercantile convoy coming in with some supplies, heavy machinery. I think we'll charge in and try and kill him off. But I think this time we will send our second in command off, because it's not going to be much of a difficult battle. He should be able to manage that. Pick up a bunch of supplies, drop some metal, drop a bit of heavy machinery. And we're doing pretty well. We've got about 15 minutes left of this session. And we want to sell off this massive stack of armaments we have. Just pursue the rest of their fleet and pick up the rest of their supplies. And now we have fully loaded holds, so I think it's time for us to head off somewhere to sell off our cargo. We're just going to hang out here while we repair, and then we can pick up some of these supplies we've had to drop, although there is a special task group just north of us. Hopefully they won't see us. This fast picket, much less of a threat, but even their sensors are not going to do much to find us when we're in this asteroid belt. Pick up some of these supplies we dropped, and I think it's probably time to leave. This picket is looking for us. He's probably going to find us, but that's fine. We will let him go. And there's another special task group. Yeah, we definitely don't want to tangle with these guys. Oh, and there's a detachment. Oh, Jesus. Right, we may now be in a bit of a problem, but this fleet luckily does not want to fight us. So we are going to be able to get away. What we don't want is for that bigger fleet to find us. So we're going to emergency burn away. And then we will try to get up north to this tri-tac world. And see if they have anything we want. Okay, we should be fine getting in here without much trouble. So we will pick up some fuel. See if they have any useful ships. They have a Heron, but it's damaged, and they have a Medusa. Now we've just bought a Medusa, but I'm going to get this one too until we pick up the one we ordered. I'm also going to get a second drover, and we will refit this Medusa, put it into formation. Now Medusa is a pretty strong destroyer. It's quite fast, it has good defenses, it's got a very good shield, and it has quite good weapon mounts. We will fit out the second drover almost exactly the same as the first, but we'll get it with some salamander missiles and some sabers and one rack of harpoons, one squadron of dagger torpedo bombers and one squadron of wasps. And we're going to give it some point defense as well, which we didn't do for the first one. Insulated engines, caps and vents, and I think we might put on some machine guns on the first one too, but I won't show that. So the main armaments for the Medusa will be a couple of heavy blasters, and on the front I think we're going to fit railguns because they are quite energy efficient and they've got a good range, which fits with the heavy blasters. And then the rest of this I think is just going to be point defense. It's basically a supercharged wolf in that it has a phase skim ability, so it can jump around a little bit, and it has just energy weapons and good point defense, so it's quite a good kind of center piece of a bunch of smaller frigates like Tempest and Omens and things like that. Give it some hardened subsystems so it can last, and insulated engines of course. I'm going to drop these down to regular PD rather than long range PD, just so we can fit some more capacitors and vents. I think that will do. Get a few more marines, and we will sell off some of this heavy machinery we don't need, which is clogging up our cargo holds. And you never get a great price for heavy machinery, so it doesn't really matter where you sell it. Get rid of most of this and keep 50 odd. You do need it for salvaging. Get rid of the high value prisoner, get rid of some of these useless weapons we don't need. Just in case we run across somebody who has some cargo we want to steal. Just double check their shipyards, make sure we haven't missed anything, and then we will launch a raid. steal some more heavy armaments, I think, and maybe some more fuel. Okay, we didn't get many weapons, but that's fine. Okay, we now have 740 heavy armaments, which is potentially over 500,000 credits worth. So let's see where we can sell that off. We'll head down to the other hegemony world. And maybe able to steal some more. Oh my god, this is a Tritachyon special task group that is pursuing us. They have a Paragon and a Doom, which scares the crap out of me, so I will run. And hopefully they won't be able to catch us up. I don't ever really want to be flying a fleet that has a burn level of less than 10. And that's why. So it looks like there's no patrols around Ragnar Complex, so we'll pop in here. See if they have any useful weapons, any useful ships. And actually we're going to sell off some of these armaments because there's a good price here. We can make 300 grand. Get rid of this metal. Pick up some more fuel. And then we will leave. And transverse jump out. Now we do still have this Tempest to pick up. I may go and get that now because it's not far. And then that Medusa has also been produced, so we can go and pick that up when we are in the region of that. There's another Tritachyon corporate trader carrying supplies, ship hulls and heavy machinery. I think we'll leave it for now. We're running out of time in this session and none of that stuff is that valuable, so I do want to kind of get on and sell the rest of these armaments we have and maybe pop into this station. Okay, so we can pick up the Tempest that we've ordered. There's also another one for sale here, so we'll pick it up. We're going to pick up a third drover. And they have the augmented drive field mod spec, which we've been looking for, so we will pick that up. If you hover over here, you can see that my maximum burn level currently is 10. But I do have a Heron in storage that will reduce that to, I think, 9, which I don't like. So with that augmented drive mod spec, we should be able to put that on the Heron and bring it up to the speed of the rest of our fleet. Okay, we'll take on this bounty. We've outfitted our drover and we will launch another raid. They have an alpha core AI in this station, so that's interesting. We might come back for that on another date. For now we'll just steal some weapons and we will leave. Can we pop into the other station as well? Might as well try. We have a capital assurance fleet there we don't want to tangle with. We will keep ourselves well away from them if we can. This is all looking a bit risky. There's quite a few high-tech fleets around here. And the smaller ones are not so much of a threat, but the bigger ones are, and now they're all chasing me. Okay, the smaller one might catch me, but that's fine. He won't be able to stop us. We will keep running. And we're still in their sensor range, but I think their bigger fleet can't catch us. We'll see if we can go and knock out their sensors. Their sensor relay. We have plenty of time to get that bounty. Another small picket trying to catch us, but even if they did, they would have to let us go. So, okay, we're going to have to let them catch us before we can sabotage this sensor array. Okay, so that's reduced their sensors, and that should make it easier for us to get into the second Tritach world. That small fleet doesn't want to tangle with us. they're still looking for our fleet, but if we can just sneak away from them. Who's this coming in? That's a distribution convoy. Looks like there's a smuggler right there as well. That little unidentified fleet. Okay, we made it into Kulan. And they have another mod spec we want, the accelerated shields. A couple of phase lancers. Some iron pulsers, some marines, some fuel. Nice little shopping trip. Do they have any interesting ships? We're going to pick up a Heron to go with the one we already have waiting for us, and we will add the augmented drive field onto that and fit it out with some bombers. We want daggers, one Cobra, and some Thunder interceptors. Give it some caps and vents, and maybe a flat cannon for point defense. And maybe just a couple of PD lasers for additional point defense. Okay. Now actually we're going to want to give it some insulated engines, so we will have to get rid of a couple more caps and drop those Thunders down and change them out for Wasps. Because otherwise our sensor profile will go through the roof. We'll pick up that Tempest that we bought. So now we have a bunch of Tempests. Take a mission to drop off a spy sat, and we'll launch a raid. And they have a couple of alpha cores here, a bunch of blueprints, and I think it's actually not worth doing a raid here because their defenses are just far too high. We are now being pursued, so we will run. And this is just one of those moments that I like. And they just have no idea where I've gone. I still have 400 heavy armors to sell, and we still have this bounty. We have 15 days to destroy, so we may be able to do that before we finish the session. Can we find this bounty in time? And we can't come in here to sell anything because they're still annoyed with us for fighting too close to their planet before. The bounty is just to the south, and its escort looks pretty weak, so we will go straight in and take him on. A bunch of Colossus freighters. A Hammerhead, I think, was the biggest ship they have defending them. So we'll take in our Medusa, our Pirate Falcon. We'll use our Heron for the first time, and a Drover, and send off our Tempest to capture these relay points. The good thing about Tempest is you're going to be capturing a bunch of points nice and early in a fight because they're just so fast. And then of course that can give you extra deployment points. So we now have 32 additional deployment points. We're going to bring in some more Tempests and an Omen and just get them to support their buddies. Right. Enemy fleet looks to be up in the northwest. We will just try and take this center ground, and a couple of Tempests skirmishing with a couple of their frigates up in the northeast. We will go after these Hammerheads, and they have a Drover as well. Maybe we should prioritize that first. I think we will. We'll see if we can kill the Drover off and remove their fighter support. He's getting swarmed by Tempests, and he's down already. Make sure we don't lose our own carriers to similar sort of attack. Let's move in on this first Hammerhead. He's overloaded and quickly destroyed. That was definitely a couple of Atropos torpedoes coming in from the Dagger fighters. So they're trying to get past us and go after some of our carriers, but we can quickly defend them. We have a Gemini, combat freighter, and this Hammerhead. fire our missiles off against the hammerhead. And then chain gun is going to do its work on his armor. And let's not get overloaded. Oh, we did get overloaded. We need to be more careful with that kind of thing. Luckily our Tempests can come in and defend us. Finish off the hammerhead. And now they are probably going to start running. Gemini fires a Reaper at us, which is not very polite, so we will destroy him with extreme prejudice. And this little Lasher is all on his own and about to have a very bad day. We'll speed up the end of the battle and go to full assault, and we should be able to kill off most of these. Maybe one or two will retreat. This Shepherd runs away. Is that a Kite? I think he is going to get caught. And then the rest, this is just a mop up. Another Shepherd. Quickly destroyed. And that's the end of that. Now they have a lot of freighters, so we will pursue them, but I'll ask my second in command to do that. He can take out the Medusa and a few of our weaker craft, and I think he killed them all. That was good. We're going to get a bunch of metal, a bunch of supplies, a bunch of organics. Nothing too valuable, but we do get the bounty reward. And I think we're going to have to stop there. That's an hour, so we will put in a cut and continue next week. We've got over 3 million credits, so it may be time to start looking for a colony, a place where we can call home and where we can resupply and produce some of our own resources, so we don't have to spend money on supplies and fuel and things like that. And then we will maybe go to war. That's something to look forward to. So hopefully see you next time. Thank you for watching.